Hey everyone, it's Leo Young here, and let me ask you a question. Do you like X-Men, the comics, TV shows, movies, all that, except for the third one? You do? That's great. Oh, you don't? Move on to the next video. So this one is about The Gifted. So you see, Fox's series, The Gifted, has become one of their most iconic TV shows, at least in my opinion, and the most iconic show for X-Men to date. I want to say it's also the best comic book show in general going on right now. Now that's debatable for the CW, but at least to me. So the thing about the show that makes it so interesting is the realistic tone that they're setting. It's in the modern day world. It's downtown Atlanta. It's places that I can go. So it's places that almost anyone can go. But they have this family thing going on. You know, the Strucker family. It's a loving family. They want to protect each other, and that's great. That's what we all want, isn't it? Well, turns out this whole family dynamic is about to be shifted on its head. You see, during an interview with comicbook.com, Emma Dumont, actress who plays Polaris in the show, spoke about the relationship between her and her father, or Polaris and her father, as you know, and how his legacy ultimately affects her. And near the start of the interview, Dumont speaks about Magneto's presence, saying, coming up in the season, and specifically episodes 11 and 12 and 13, our final episodes, Polaris struggles with what she thinks are two paths. What she believes and wants, and what her personal beliefs are and what she thinks is right. And then there is the path she was born to do, which was be Magneto's daughter and take his legacy. But Lorna doesn't realize that these things are the exact same thing, and when she does near the end of the season, that will completely terrify her. So this does, it's always been known that Magneto is Polaris's daughter, but I'm going to keep on going so I can tell you some of the things that she said otherwise. She continued to speak not only about Magneto, but his followers who would help him put mutants on top. So Polaris knows of her father primarily through reputation. The Master of Magnetism and his mutant terrorist organization, the Brotherhood of Mutants, do exist in the world of Gifted, though they disappeared around the same time as the X-Men did. Now, Dumont reveals that Polaris has received some correspondence from her father, but even though she may resent him, Dumont believes that Polaris is the true heir to Magneto. Now, the reason I say that is because if there's something you've noticed about the show, it's Polaris's attitude. Her characteristics are slowly becoming more and more like her father. Like, a lot of the times I find myself saying, when Polaris is on screen doing something, I'm like, that's daddy's girl right there. That's daddy's girl right there. Because she acts and does certain things just like Magneto would. In the comics, she's more of a calm, collected person, but her portrayal on the show, she is definitely more aggressive. She is more violent. When specifically speaking about how Polaris views her father's actions, Dumont had this to say. She, Lorna, or Polaris, hasn't heard a lot of great things about her father. She's heard a lot of bad things about her father, in fact. Her chosen family, the Mutant Underground, they don't think highly of him, of course. They think that he was a bad guy. Anyone who would hurt humans is bad, even if that person was trying to save 200 mutant lives. Now here's what she ended off. She said, it's still bad, but for her, Polaris, it's not that bad. And the reason that's so important is because during the interview, she brings up Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. She says, Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, yes, they are also children of Magneto, but they only have DNA that turn them into mutants. Polaris is literally like Magneto in power and everything. And for Magneto, the power of a mutant is what makes a mutant the mutant. And magnetism, their attitudes, everything about them, they are literally mirror images. Magneto's a grown man, and she is starting to embody a lot of the actions that he does. And now, further on in the interview, she does state that some things, maybe it's the thing that's making her act so different is the baby and the hormones, or it's her mental illness, something maybe just like sparking her up to be a little bit more aggressive, or it really is nurture versus nature. I'm sorry. This is pretty much how she was raised, to be aggressive against humans. And if that's the truth, that is something extra special. That is just, this whole season, like, we all thought it was just about family. It's about Lorna's family, because unlike anyone else, Charles' son is in Legion. Magneto's daughter is right here in our face. She is, no offense to Legion, she is a little bit more, I don't know how to word it, but you understand what I mean, right? She's just different. She has a different, I guess it's because of how realistic it is. Like with Legion, you can't really tell what is which, where is where. But with Lorna, you can like see it right there. It's like Lorna is there. She is Magneto's daughter. Now, one thing I am worried about is that the way that things seem to be going, I could believe that maybe what Fox is planning to do with the Mutant Underground is have John or Thunderbird and Lorna Polaris split it in the middle and literally make it's like, all right, we're more peaceful. No more fighting. We're going to work with like the X-Men. And Lorna moves off and she's like, the Brotherhood, that's what we're after. We're moving over there. Now, one thing I also want to add before I finish up here is that she says that the Brotherhood went missing around the same time as the X-Men, which is a bit suspicious, don't you think? If the X-Men went away, I believe that the Brotherhood wouldn't do that. The Brotherhood is not something that just gets up and leaves. This is something outside of the normal spectrum or the normal realm that we see had to have taken the X-Men and the Brotherhood. And I'm very curious to see what that is. And maybe we'll see it in season 2 and Fox is finally like, we need to do it. We need to fully go out and like explain what's going on with the X-Men. Now, one other thing is, last thing. I know I keep saying this. Polaris and Thunderbird are the only X-Men currently in the show. But they're kind of changing up who they are. They aren't X-Men, they were friends of the X-Men from what the show is saying. So I'm kind of curious to see how many other friends of the X-Men are going to show up later. But that's about all I have. If there's anything else, I will definitely look for it. Again, if you've never seen Gifted, you need to go look it up right now. Go on, I don't know where you can find it, Netflix, maybe? Definitely not Netflix, Xfinity, Infinity, Comcast, whatever. Just look it up. It is an amazing show. We're currently on the 9th episode. Comes on Mondays at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Anyways, like I normally say, because I have a forgettable face and voice, I'm Leo Young. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy, almost forgot to say this, please hit the subscribe button to get access to our notification gong to get an update on the next video. If you want to support the channel, like, comment, subscribe. Please, if you love this show, post your comments down below. Tell me what you're thinking about this show. Tell me if you like it. Tell me if you think it's crap. Tell me if you believe CW is better. I want to discuss this, and I'm pretty sure other people do too. Anyways, stay impressive. I'll see you in the next one.